Change leaders drive adaptive innovation. Leadership learning. On 19 September 2010, the Deepwater Horizon oil well in the Gulf of Mexico was officially declared sealed, bringing to a close one of the largest environmental disasters in world history. The sealing of the Macondo well ended a 152-day ordeal that began with a catastrophic explosion on 20th April 2010, which claimed 11 lives and released approximately 134 million gallons of oil into the Gulf. While 134 million gallons is often cited, the US government's official estimate stands at approximately 210 million gallons. This volume made it the largest accidental marine oil spill in history, dwarfing previous disasters and leaving a legacy still studied today. What began as a routine drilling operation rapidly escalated into a crisis that tested human ingenuity, corporate responsibility, and regulatory oversight. The disaster unfolded when a surge of natural gas traveled up the riser and ignited, causing the platform to explode and sink, triggering an uncontrolled release of oil 5,000 feet below the ocean's surface. The technical challenge of controlling a blowout at this depth was unprecedented. The traditional blowout preventer failed, forcing engineers to devise new methods in real time, including containment domes, top kill procedures, and finally the successful drilling of 2 relief wells that permanently sealed the rupture. The engineering complexity highlighted both the risks of deepwater exploration and the limitations of existing contingency planning. The environmental damage was severe. Oil spread across thousands of square miles, contaminating fragile marine ecosystems, endangering wildlife, and coating beaches from Texas to Florida. Fishing grounds were closed and coastal tourism collapsed as families faced unemployment and uncertainty. The industry that had long provided economic opportunity was suddenly the source of widespread hardship and public outrage. The scale of the response effort was equally extraordinary. Government agencies, military resources, energy companies, scientists, and environmental organizations collaborated across national and sectoral boundaries. The incident became a proving ground for emergency coordination as command structures evolved and communication systems were established to manage information flows at scale. Controversial use of chemical dispersants added further complexity, requiring constant trade-offs between immediate containment and potential long-term consequences. Researchers developed new techniques for tracking underwater oil plumes, assessing long-term ecological impacts, and predicting recovery timelines. Legal and financial ramifications extended well beyond the emergency. BP ultimately faced more than $45 billion in fines, compensation, and cleanup costs. Regulatory systems were restructured, with the creation of the Bureau of Safety and Environmental Enforcement to strengthen oversight, enforce stricter safety standards, and embed environmental risk into operational decision-making. The sealing of the Deepwater Horizon well was more than the conclusion of an emergency. It revealed the vulnerabilities of complex technological systems, but also the capacity of human resilience and cross-sector collaboration to push the boundaries of what was possible when the stakes could not have been higher. Change leadership lessons. This crisis demonstrates how exceptional circumstances reveal fundamental change leadership principles. The Deepwater Horizon disaster revealed how existing systems can collapse under stress and how leaders must respond by driving adaptive innovation. Leaders of change demonstrate flexibility when established protocols prove inadequate for emerging challenges, requiring real-time engineering of novel solutions. They coordinate efforts across enormous geographic areas by establishing communication channels that transcend traditional organizational and geographical boundaries. Change leaders advance knowledge and capabilities simultaneously during the change process itself, developing new ways and methods whilst assessing ongoing impacts. They recognize that major failures create opportunities for comprehensive systemic transformation rather than merely addressing surface-level symptoms. Leaders of change acknowledge and address the varied impacts their initiatives have on different stakeholder groups throughout transformation efforts. Summary leadership quote: "Change leadership emerges when established systems fail, demanding adaptive innovation, cross-sector collaboration, continuous learning, systemic transformation, and stakeholder-centered solutions." Application: change leadership responsibility. 3. Intervene to ensure sustainable change. The Deepwater Horizon crisis exemplifies how leaders must intervene to ensure sustainable change when complex systems reveal fundamental vulnerabilities. This responsibility requires decisive action when established controls prove insufficient. When the blowout preventer failed and traditional containment methods proved inadequate, effective intervention demanded real-time innovation across multiple organizational boundaries. To intervene to ensure sustainable change means recognizing that surface-level fixes cannot address operational or systemic weaknesses. Leaders must coordinate cross-sector expertise, establish new communication protocols, and ensure that learning from failure drives comprehensive transformation rather than temporary solutions. In organizational contexts, this responsibility manifests when leaders identify that existing processes, technologies, or governance structures no longer serve their intended purpose. The intervention imperative requires courage to abandon established approaches whilst simultaneously being innovative and creative to build new intelligent technology. This principle extends beyond reactive crisis response to proactive identification of system vulnerabilities before they trigger organizational disasters. Leaders who truly intervene to ensure sustainable change create environments where continuous learning, stakeholder engagement, and adaptive innovation become embedded organizational capabilities rather than emergency responses. Ensuring resilience becomes the foundation for future transformation. Leadership of change. Final thoughts. The Deepwater Horizon disaster showed how fragile systems can threaten both business and society value when leadership fails to adapt. In today's world, AI can help change leaders by enhancing foresight, improving decision-making, and providing insight into complex interdependencies. Yet it remains leadership, not technology alone, that ensures these tools are applied with integrity to create sustainable transformation. Find out more. Change Management Leadership. Leadership of Change Volume 4.